Are we doing it now?
It's on.
It's on. Well, I guess we know.
Good evening, everyone.
Hi, this is the Bourbon Barrel. We're back.
We are. We've returned.
You know you missed us. Don't lie.
Would you like to introduce yourself?
Well, I was going to let you do it first. I said it first last time, so...
That's fine. I appreciate consistency.
Oh, well, I'm Rox.
I'm Neat.
And the show is...
The Bourbon Barrel. So, today we've got a special episode for many reasons. One of them being the bourbon that we're going to try for number 3 is actually a very rare and hard to find bourbon. And if it wasn't for our boy Rox here, we wouldn't have had it at all. So, props to you.
I just lucked out. We talked about it in the first episode if you watched. If not, go back and watch, please.
But to counteract the very nice and special bourbon that we have at the end, we're going to start with something probably terrifying and shitty.
We're going to start with gasoline.
Raw, that smells like raw gasoline.
In a bottle.
So...
You hold where I can't.
There you go. Right there. Buffalo Trace.
White Dog.
White Dog. And it is clear. I don't even know if you can call that bourbon. Corn, wheat, barley recipe. 114 proof, so that's going to burn real good.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
And it is a wheated mash.
We could blow fireballs.
Yeah.
Have you ever blown a fireball?
I can't honestly say I've blown a fireball.
I've never done it either, and I've wondered about it. And I've almost tried it a few times. The way I think it has to be 100 proof or more to light, right?
I feel like that's something if it goes back in my mouth and I have to swallow the fire, I don't want that experience.
I would really, really, really suck in like deep, so like and blow till I couldn't. You know what I mean? That's the only way I would try it. It would be
That's
like even when the flame goes out from in front of me, I would be like constantly before I would suck back in.
Assuming that the flame went out.
Yeah, well, if it doesn't go out, I'm gonna be screaming and running because my mouth will be on fire.
That's fair.
We're not doing that tonight, by the way.
No, I don't want to set my house on fire. So that's where we're starting is with that. I honestly don't even think it's bourbon, but it is Buffalo Trace.
This is literally what they have, what goes in the barrels. Before you put it in a barrel, this is what comes out. That's literally what this is.
This is moonshine, essentially.
This is why there's no color. All the color in bourbon comes from the barrels.
That's
this
true.
has never been in a barrel. So I have seen it on a couple different podcasts where they talk, on more than one, where they talk about if you're going to try, they do lists like, this or that, but if 10 whiskeys you should try before you die. Numerous ones say this because you should know how this tastes so you understand what you're going to get to when you get to it. Even though it's awful, you should understand, I guess, how awful? I don't know.
But I feel like there's a massive difference between basically the moonshine they start with and then the aged version that comes from the barrel.
Which, let's be honest,
And
we can only find this in these little bottles probably for a reason.
Nobody's buying a big ass one. Nobody wants to put that in their mouth.
No. I don't have nails, dude. Can you rip that off at all?
Yeah, Are you having a hard time?
I'm a biter. It happens. I don't know what to tell you. Hey, shout out to Brian who left a comment for us. He wants to do an interview. We don't know if he wants us to interview him or if he wants to interview us. This is his shirt he gave me. Strong Arm Tattooing and Piercing. Give him a call. He's a great guy. He also has a podcast called Bison Garage. He can do things to cars that I don't understand at all. He's a wonderful guy. He's a great guy. He's a good friend. He would take good care of you. And to answer his question about how to do or get an interview, I think it would require possibly the blood of a 90-year-old monk. Perhaps maybe ice from the top of Everest. Can't be water. You're going to have to go back up if it is. Maybe 16, 18 yak hairs. Something like that.
What the hell are you going on about?
Perhaps, maybe we would allow him to do an interview because we're very sought after. I don't know if I told you, but...
Kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
Many leather-bound books. My apartment smells of rich mahogany.
Oh, Ron Burgundy.
I'm Ron
You stay
Burgundy?
classy.
So I just want to let you guys know that this was the most difficult thing I've ever had to open. And I have...
See? Good. All right.
This was not... I don't know why I talked... You talked me into this. I don't know why I let you, because even the opening was hard. That was rough, and I'm sure this is also rough.
I'd like ice if we have ice.
Yes, we have ice. We brought ice this time.
This isn't a valuable book of some sort.
No, I
like
use
if
it as
it
a
gets
mousepad.
wet or okay.
You're fine.
All right. I'm gonna. So it's not gonna. No. Okay.
Though it is Batman.
This is.
Yeah. This is
Well,
Batman.
last time you were in a Batman shirt.
I know.
And now
I got
it's
Batman stuff.
I need to get a Robin shirt. I don't have one, but I will definitely get one. And at some point we can say things like to the bat pole. I don't know why, but we can.
That seemed like a lot. Oh, that's not gonna.
Well,
sit well.
No.
We should get like a spit barrel.
You want me to use my fingers for this?
Yeah, man.
All right. Well, it's your house. I'm trying to be respectful. It's not my strength, but I'm giving it a shot.
Well,
Let's double cube it
free
because
since '93.
This is not going to be a good time.
I may be adding a
cube.
cube.
That's
jeez.
Well, I mean, if it's, I don't know.
It doesn't even stick to the edge of the glass, man.
There is no flavor profile, I don't really think.
Oh, that's
because
that smells like
gasoline.
Okay, so I made wine one time before I knew what I was doing.
Needs gas.
And it's called balloon wine because you use like a 2 liter and you put a balloon on it, so then the like air expands and stuff. The balloon expands, and then when it shrinks down, it's time.
Okay.
I made that, and it tasted awful. Like something bad got in there. It tasted like, how do I put this? Like bread mold. This smells like that.
For the sake of a small discussion, just because it's Buffalo Trace has nothing to do with that. We just got Buffalo Trace products this week because we were so excited to get them and had to race around, and he was hood sliding like Bo Duke to get the last bottle when I texted him, and he got it. Dude got there. Yeah. So it's not Buffalo Trace. It's the only white dog I've ever seen before. They have this, and they have the other. Said something like, this says weeded, the other one said rye, I think.
Well, at least you got the weeded one, but I'm still not excited to try this.
Yeah, I told you before. I think I'm more of a weeded person. I like makers a little more than some other things.
This is gonna hurt.
Oh, here, look, it's my friend's glass from my wife. She's a wonderful person. It was a gift. She knows I love friends. All right, here, cheers. And we'll die together. All right. We didn't even. There's no smell, so.
A little bit of a smell. So, oh
yeah, that's
So, there's a.
That made my innards rumble a little bit.
I want to tell you a thing, but I can't because my mouth is just.
My inner thigh is pulsating in a way I'm not aware of.
I don't want it to hurt like that.
Next time, lube it up.
This is bad. So, normally the way I learned this from the ropes.
I learned it from watching you. Sorry.
You're supposed to taste things. Is you can do the nose, the smell, and then you're supposed to take a sip and let it do whatever it's going to do to your mouth. Mm-hmm. And then after that, you take another sip, and that's the one you're supposed to judge.
Okay.
It's called the Kentucky Hug, and if you ever go to the Kentucky Bourbon Trail, they'll tell you that's how you're supposed to taste it.
I've heard the Kentucky Hug is like when it burns here or something.
No, that's how you're supposed to taste it.
Huh.
But yeah, so
I know, but and then there seems to be a lot of like if something's been opened or something hasn't, or the first taste or the second, and they'll lots of other shows again will be like, well, let's have a second sip after they've talked for a couple minutes, kind of like us now.
Yeah.
If we and they almost literally say it's totally different.
I don't want to take that second sip.
Well, we got to get this out of the glass. So
I'm gonna get us something. It is so rough. It's sweet, and I think that's because of the weeded part.
It's just so not flavorful. It's not the proof. Like if it's 114,
it's
proof,
literally just like
it's fine.
Burn and sweet. Like there's a sweet and a burn.
Yeah. It's I don't know. I'm not a fan.
I tell you what.
But yet again, people told us we should try this because people that have been doing this longer than we have. A lot of people suggest that you at least try this so you understand what it's like before it goes into the barrels. So, and by the way, something else we failed to mention in our first show: bourbon is American made. You can't make bourbon unless you live in the United States. You have to make it within the United States. You can follow all the rules. You make it in Mexico, it's whiskey. It's not bourbon. That's part of a congressional something or another too.
It's kind of like how you can only make champagne in France.
And it has to be 51% corn. And then the rest of it can be kind of what you want, but it has to be the dominating grain in bourbon.
I got us a spit glass.
That's
got a mustache on it.
Ooh, I can do that with my mustache.
There you go.
I need some wax. I haven't bought any.
That's going in there because I don't wanna.
That's fine. Hey, listen, we're not trying to rape your palate. All right. I mean, we did, but we're not. We weren't.
We're trying. Just did.
I'm glad I had a friend to try this with because had it not been for the show,
I don't think there could have been anything more sad than just doing that by yourself.
Nope. If anything, what would be fun to do with this would be if you bought one of those little barrels you can buy, right?
Actually,
and you could
my
put
dad
it in
has
there.
one. You could put it in there for years,
a long time, and you can. Yeah, that I've often thought of doing that.
I think you should because you have it now.
I don't have a barrel yet.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying you should get a barrel.
I have that, yeah.
Now that you have this, and turn it into a bourbon. Though you still can't because it's more wheat than corn.
Yeah.
I would assume. I don't know what the mash bill is on it.
But it can be wheat. It just maybe that's more wheat than it is rye. Right. And maybe it's also just it's 51%
still
corn.
Okay.
So I don't know.
Well, that'd be something to look into. But
it's something apparently you should try. We have. So in any comment, don't say try it again because we're probably not going to do that. If we end up getting monetized and you spend a lot of money on us, we'll try it again.
I honestly no. I feel like I have limits.
You do?
That's the limit.
You think that limit? If they wanted us to take another sip of this and they did some sort of super chat for 20 or 30 bucks?
Oh my god, no,
really?
Not for $30
for a sip,
dude. No,
really?
No, man, I have standards.
I'm not sure you do, but all right. Fair enough. I didn't think it was that ridiculously harsh that I wouldn't. I'll probably drink this. That's right. The point. I'll eventually.
So you could actually probably mix that with something and get away with it.
That's where I was going to go.
It doesn't have a lot of flavor.
Yeah.
It's a little sweet and there's a little burn. But if you cut that, by like adding Pepsi or something to it, it actually probably wouldn't be that bad.
I was always a ginger ale guy with whiskey. It was always whiskey and ginger, Jameson and ginger when I was out a couple times. And
I'm gonna move that away from me because I don't want to accidentally drink that.
You'll think it's water, and you'll be like, oh, and all of a sudden it'll be like, Anyway, hi, how are you?
There is a puppy who's an attention hooter.
Oh, she's a good girl. She just doesn't like pillows. Not a big deal.
No, not a big deal.
I like pillows. I'm a pillow guy.
See, I'm looking at the dog, but it looks like I'm looking at your junk.
Oh, hey. And it kind of looks like I'm playing with it. Yeah, buddy, you like it right there. Rub it.
Anyway, moving on. We should go for the next thing because that needs to get out of my mouth immediately.
Have you ever, if he had a nickel, every time you said that, it has to get out of my mouth immediately. Have you ever heard anything from the Robe about White Dog? Have they ever even had a sample?
I don't even think they've ever heard of White Dog.
Well, you should, next time you have the honor of their presence.
Of the Robes?
Yeah, so what would we try next for this show, Neat? What are we going to do?
I believe we're going for the Woodenville Bourbon.
Okay. And this one, I mean, obviously we've both seen it many times.
Yes. There's like 3 different.
Here, hold that where you want it. Sort of.
Get it up in there so you guys can take a look.
Yep. Yeah, they have a couple different. There's a bourbon,
proof.
Which that's bourbon. They have I think a rye, which once it's over 51%, it's not a bourbon.
Right.
But yeah, Washington State is where that comes from. Apparently, it is not sourced. They do a special thing with the barrels, from what I was reading and online and on the bottle. Apparently, they leave the barrels outside for a prolonged period of time before they char them, so the wood in the barrels, or that the barrels are made out of, get more matured without the char first, or something to that effect. I'm, beating around the bush a little bit here, sort of, but we're trying to figure it out. So,
right.
And it's from Washington State, but like I said, bourbon has to be in the United States, not just Kentucky. Kentucky's the home, the heart, but we'll give it a shot. Something about Cascade Mountain, something.
I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
That smells really good, and it could be because the most recent thing that I smelled was the White Dog.
That's very true. That's very true.
So anything will taste better than that by comparison.
It's gonna follow up well. I don't know how I can't. Here, you pour first this time.
I might even be able to drink Jefferson Aged at Sea after that.
That would be interesting. Okay, Jefferson's Aged at Sea in one glass, or White Dog in another.
No.
And somebody's like, "Here's $50. You got to drink one." Or whatever your price point is.
I will give that $50
I'm a
back.
Cheap whore. All right, I'll do another shot of that for $5 if we were monetized, because I'll give
you $5 to do a whole shot.
Oh, I could do a whole shot. Absolutely. I'm driving home. We're not doing it today. All right, but I would do it. It's not. It's awful, but it's not.
It's awful
death.
alone. It's not horrible, but we got to stop talking about it.
Right. That's right there with Aged at Sea as far as the bar by which the low bar is set.
That's
which
true.
We've also decided that we're gonna try to come up with a rating
Like
system.
a 5-point rating system.
We're gonna not rate this. This is not. It's not a bourbon.
It's not even a bourbon, really.
No, it's the beginning of a bourbon, but it hasn't been aged for 4 years.
It's true.
So
we've got. Yeah.
We were thinking the high is 5.0, the low is 0.0. If it goes into the negatives, I don't even know what that means.
That's not good.
That would be poor for us. So, anyway.
All right.
Nonetheless.
Pour some out for one's homies.
All right. You did this, right?
I've got it. I'm good.
All right.
I got some.
We will give the Woodinville.
It hugs the glass, which means there's a little bit of sugar content in there, which should be if it's made mostly corn.
Right.
So. Smells much better.
It's hard not to smell better, but it's true. It does smell a lot better. What interests me too is on other podcasts you see. Now again, we've told you that we're sort of new at this as far as what we're doing and stuff. I don't have that where they'll be like, ooh, I smell a caramel nut cluster with a hint of cherry perfume or something. I'm like, fuck. Like,
I love the people who are like, that's got some earthy tones. Like, who's eating dirt?
They'll name like 13 things off, like you too, and you're like, what the hell, really? Like,
well, there's one bourbon that I tried with my dad that it's got like 30 different tones and notes that people can distinguish, and I'm like, 30? Like, what is this, a Baskin Robbins?
Yeah, I don't. And how much, as you drink, how much easier does it get to be like, I taste marshmallows, caramel, like, sugar, and Sour Patch Kids, and like
Sour Patch. There's blueberry Sour Patch in here, you guys.
It's made from bits of real panther.
That's how you know it's good.
That's right. It's illegal in 49 states or whatever he says in Anchorman.
Oh, that's so much better.
That's not bad at all. As far as
compared to that,
I should have at least. I didn't even cleanse. Did you cleanse? Okay, I didn't.
So, it's still got a little bit of burn. It's a 90 proof. Mm-hmm. So it's warm down here. It's not warm in the mouth.
Bourbon also has to be 80 proof. When it's bottled, it has to be 80 proof or higher. It cannot be. And therein lies the flavor thing I mentioned before. Mm-hmm. If you ever see whether it's Jim Beam or Crown Royal or whatever, and it's apple and it's peach and all those things, they're always about 60 or 70 proof. Bourbon has to be 80 proof or higher. Anyway.
But yeah, no, it's much better than that by comparison, but it's not my favorite. It's still good.
Right.
It's a bourbon.
Right.
But yeah, and on the second sip, it's not as flavorful as some other ones I've tasted.
For the transparency of it all, I think it was $30-ish, 35-ish maybe.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was. It's not. I don't ball out. Like 50s is the highest I've gone yet. I've yet to buy a bottle that was $59.99 or more ever.
So there is one that we will be tasting that is
more than that.
Yes.
Yes.
In the near future, there's one that we have that's a very rare bottle that I can't find again, and it was over $100 to buy it. And the only reason I bought it was because I had a gift card.
Right. It was his birthday. Well, it's a nice gift. Yeah, absolutely.
But
so we did know. Are we finishing with this at the end of this?
Yes.
With E.H. Taylor that we talked about, and we mentioned the hood sliding like Bo Duke. That's from some country song, by the way. That's why I said that. Like, somebody runs out of their house in some country song, and they were like, he's hood sliding like Bo Duke, like from the Dukes of Hazzard. So
I appreciate country music.
Right.
I don't listen to it. I don't hate
what
it.
do you listen to? Are you like metal, or are you more like just rock or old school rock or pop rock? Or
So
I don't know.
I'm in the generation where anything in like that, like 2000s, like punk emo era was good, like Jimmy Eat World, that kind of stuff.
Who?
Exactly.
Name somebody I would know.
Blink 182.
Oh, right up. Right. Chris Fry just went to a concert last week. Bare Naked Ladies. Yeah.
They're neither bare naked nor ladies. Discuss.
And it's so awesome, yeah. Let us know how you feel about that. We have no say or anything to do with Bare Naked Ladies.
Duran is neither a Duran nor a Duran.
What it was... If Nicole watches this, she's gonna be pissed. She loves Duran Duran. So she's gonna give us grief about this, but that's okay. A friend of ours from where I work, and he used to work. So,
Nice.
Yeah. Anyway,
So, I guess we can start rating because that is a bourbon.
I originally thought maybe we should have a piece of paper and write it together, so we didn't know what the other one said first. So there's no.
Oh.
And then be like, boom, and you'd be like, oh.
I mean, we can.
We don't have to do that now. It was just a thought that I had. It doesn't make any difference.
We can do that next time. I didn't bring paper.
I have paper here.
I brought ice.
We're in your house.
I know.
You tell me there's not paper.
You think I'd have
in your
paper?
house?
I don't even have a printer anymore.
I think
man.
there's paper in this house.
I have a phone.
I think there's paper.
There's no paper
in this house. Well, we could do that too. We could just put a number down and then turn our phone around.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's fine too.
I'm gonna put my number down.
Are you?
You already know it. So
It's on the bathroom walls. So
I mean, yeah.
you know. Oh.
I got a magic paper fairy.
And our lovely assistant,
Thank you, magic paper fairy.
Magic Paper Fairy. So our last for this episode of the Bourbon Barrel, call it episode 2 or 4 or 5.
Episode 2.
5, yeah, okay, or whatever. Yeah, I try to think because
It's only
it's
the
not
second
my
time
strength.
we've done this.
Anyway.
So we're gonna try something that was hard to get, and the only reason I got a bottle was because Rox here was able to inform me that they had a bottle at our local
Liquor store.
bourbon place.
Yep. One of them.
One of them, yes. So I ran down there like a madman,
Yep.
asked for it, and got it. So
And the lady literally told me they had one left. She's like, we have one left. It's not on the shelf. It's out back. And nobody has asked me. And if nobody asked me, it's still going to be there. So I texted him before I was even out of the store.
and I asked.
Yeah. And he asked and he got it. So, and you know what else I'd love to point out, and I think this is a great thing about bourbon or whiskey or maybe more spirits too, I'm just not into those, is the fact that it's a hard thing to come by. Okay? Mm-hmm. At least it's a hard thing to come by in New York. That's not even on camera. No. But we still bought it for, I guess, MSRP or whatever. We got it for $45 each for that. And it's nice that there's something you like that is hard to find. But when you do, a place you go to, I don't know what the laws are, so I don't know, maybe they can't only this, that, or the other. But on the secondary market, if you just Google E.H. Taylor, you're not going to find something for less than $100. Nothing online is going to come up less than $100 when it first pops up. You might be able to dig through, but this, again, it's cool that it's that way. You know what I mean? It feels like the hard to find stuff always is $100, $200, $300. You know, you can't. And Blanton's is the same way. If Blanton's ever comes available and we're both on lists to get a bottle, the same with liquor store I went to get this, we went to get these. They, yeah, you can just pour me soft. That's fine. That's good. If we're gonna keep it going. You know, it's just nice that they don't jack it up. I guess that's what I'm saying. If they are allowed to jack it up, it's nice that they don't.
Yeah.
So.
Honestly, I've never had E.H. Taylor.
No, nor have I.
And
no.
so, but just the smell from the bottle, I mean, it was really like smooth in that smell.
What is this bottle in bond? Is this 100?
Bottle and bond.
So it's at
proof.
least 100 proof.
It's 100 proof right there.
E.H. Taylor was another one of those right around the same time as like Colonel Blanton, and E.H. Taylor, if I'm not mistaken, from the things I've seen, was one of the main guys that was part of that 1897 congressional law that got passed
Bottled
about
in
bottle
old-fashioned copper distillery. So, copper distilled. That's good.
Something that I didn't think about it ever until when we got these bottles was that I gotta think about this. Maternal great-grandparents, their last names were Taylor. It's a very common last name, don't misunderstand. But then there's that little part of you that's like, I wonder if there's money sitting somewhere waiting for me because he was my great-great-great-great-great uncle guy person. Anyway.
Cool.
I think that's kind of neat.
It's pretty neat.
It is neat.
Yeah.
It's not rocks, but it's
No.
kind of neat.
I'm drinking it neat,
So-
but I'm gonna add a cube after.
I'm gonna, yeah, absolutely. Let's cheers to E.H. Taylor. Rest in peace. And if you're still alive, you don't know we're here, so.
Wow. There is no burn.
I'm getting a little, but I don't know.
But
Now, it's the first thing I've drank
that's
without
the
an
first
ice
one, so
cube.
you gotta try it a second time. That's the hug.
Can the second one be the cube or not the cube?
I will do the cube after the second one. okay, yeah, a little burn in the back, but
A little.
it's real smooth.
It's very mild for 100 proof.
Yeah, like I wouldn't, if you asked me what proof that was, I wouldn't say.
Another thing we've discussed but never initiated yet, and we aren't going on this specific episode. We're on our third. We kind of got this thing where we're doing 3 per episode, give it 5 or 10 minutes to chat about it. And I like it. I think it works great. Is the blind thing. Mm-hmm. Like, I feel like some of the other podcasts, when they do that, keep hold, maintain, keep, or establish a honest rating or grading of what they're drinking in a way because they just don't know. You know what I mean? Like, you and I, we were just talking about it. We have a bottle of Town Branch here. He has an open bottle. I have a bottle that's unopened. We were just talking about one of these episodes coming up. We'll taste them both, and maybe we can do it blind. It'll look exactly the same in the glass. And we can, and then find out which one we prefer. And it gives that authenticity of your, your feel. Like, if we would have lined these up together, okay, now the White Dog excluded, because you'd know by glancing at it, okay? But I don't know, I mean, this is 100 proof. This is a $40, $45 bottle. This is 90 proof, $30, $35 bottle.
Honestly, that was rougher. For being less a lighter proof, I thought that was much more rough and
this is my first ever sip of E.H. Taylor. It's tasty, it's good, it's borderline great. I didn't even say a great about that when you said 3.0. I don't know where I place this right now. I would like to taste this next to the Wild Turkey 101, which is still my favorite 100. They call it 101 because they want to be different. Like,
That's
some
fair.
places do 100 and 101. Still haven't tried the Maker's Mark 101. I love the Evan Williams 101, and the Turkey 101 is my favorite. I was going to play a game with Neat, but I'm the one who messed up the idea of the game. So I'm not good at keeping secrets. So somebody gets a gift, I'm like, that's not your football under that tree, even though it's wrapped up. But, I was gonna play a game with him because he got a book for me earlier this week. He got a book for me that I couldn't go get when I wanted to get it when it came out, and I made sure he knew about the H. Taylor and came down there. It's a team effort, man. We do things best we can. I was gonna do a thing where I said, "Do you want me to give you the $50?" Because I bought a bottle of bourbon that was a little over $50. So you could have the bottle that you don't know what it is in a bag. So what's inside bag number 1?
What's in the box?
What's inside?
What's in the box?
What's inside sack number 1? And he chose this time the money because he has spent a lot on bourbon.
I bought 3 different bottles of bourbon this last week, so
I think that's a great decision. I'm just saying.
So did you try it with ice? Mm-mm. You want some more for ice? I got ice.
Have you taken the second sip? Are you second sipping? With ice? You put ice in there and it's already melted? Or my glasses aren't on, so.
Yeah, the ice is in there.
I could try it with ice and just another drip drop kind of thing, because I don't want to get too hammered and drive home because that's very irresponsible.
That's right.
I actually have my son on, he's on retainer, if you will. He's 20, and I told him, look, if I text you to come get me, you gotta come get me. He's like, all right. So
drink responsibly.
Yeah, he's a good kid. So anyway, yeah, I don't know. I mean,
so before we let you do that, I do just want to ask the audience if they will hit that like button and subscribe.
Please subscribe.
It actually does help us out. So.
My kids are starving. Can you just do something? Yeah. None of that's true. But please subscribe. We enjoy doing this. This is one of my most favorite fun things I've done in a long time. I have children and I have, responsibilities, and this is fun. It's just fun.
We're always happy to do shout outs and things like that. So if you have
here you go.
Something you want to.
My friend Matt and Stephanie are getting married this coming Saturday. Sorry, I just met him this year, but he's a very nice guy. He's getting married this Saturday. Cheers to you, Matt and Stephanie. Many, love, wishes, happiness, all that. So when you get married, just realize that she's always right, and you'll be a happy guy. So,
happy wife, happy life.
It's very true. Happy dick, happy.
Whoa.
Anyway, this is going off the rails quick.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. This is. You old sailor, you
sailor.
motorboating son of a bitch.
Movie file.
I hate you.
So that is about it for us. The E.H. Taylor I liked. I can write mine down if you want to write yours down.
Well, she brought. Let's not.
So,
yeah, absolutely.
I'm gonna give that this number.
There you go. Don't show me. Just let me see a piece of paper too, and then we'll do it. So I can't be influenced by what he thinks of it as well. 5.0 being the pristine, the best of the best of the best, and 0.0 being this and that. I'll write down. Well, I don't have to write down. This first one was Woodenville. I mean, I really liked it. I'm almost like a. That's another thing about grading stuff is like a second sip. We reserve the right to go back and change things because something we uncorked when it's open could be different. Something we didn't have with ice could be different, or a splash of water. Our palates
with
could
ice,
change.
it's actually it gets even smoother.
Yeah. So I don't. Well, let me try this with the ice.
Yeah.
Rocks, by the way, because Anyway. Anyway. I feel the burn go down with the little cube of ice, obviously. All right. I don't know. This was, it was both of our ideas to a degree, but it was partially mine, obviously, so both, and you're with me? Yeah, all right, just making sure. I'm torn because I feel like I liked that about as much as I like that.
Really?
Yeah.
I guess I'll call you Natalie Imbruglia because you're torn.
This is...
Yeah, it's a 90s reference that no one's going to get.
I think Nickelback said it best when they said, "I'm through with standing in lines for bottles I'm never getting."
Oh. I thought they were about looking at photographs or something.
I use my own lyrics.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Yeah. Anyway.
So.
Fuck me. Anyway. So we'll go EH. All right.
I won't look. I'm not looking. You guys can testify. Eye contact, so I'm not looking.
I'll write it down.
That's right.
I'm going to give that one the benefit of the doubt, but I'll do a little higher than you. So, all right, there you go.
Okay, so what do you got for the Woodinville?
I put 3.5. I just went, I think maybe I liked it a little more than you did, but
I gave it a 3.0.
Right, so 3.25.
All right, that works.
That's kind of where we're at.
Middle
EH, I put 4.1.
I gave it a 4.3. So
Nice,
that's
4.2.
real close. Real close.
Right.
Not bad.
I want to leave room for
better things,
and this is an individual thing. This harkens back to the end of the first episode, where we're like, drink it the way you want it, have it the way you want it, enjoy it the way you want it. If you like to mix it, whatever. But everybody's different. Everybody's got their own palate. Some people just hate whiskey and bourbon, so you're probably not watching the show. And if you are, thanks.
I mean, yeah, we appreciate that.
We'll still keep making you laugh. So anyway.
Fucking Nixon over here.
I'm saying. I was motorboating, like imaginary boobs, where I was like,
you sounded like you're like, Agnew.
It's the bourbon barrel. Like when we did that in the first one, we didn't tape and all that jazz. But I guess we're done with this episode.
Yeah. So much thanks for tuning in, stopping by, and hopefully it was entertaining and not just a lot of speaking and yapping. But that's pretty much all we got. We don't have. I can juggle, but I don't think that's why you're here.
I can juggle too. We could juggle next to each other.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that's part of the thing, but
No, but
we could juggle whiskey bottles, but that's
seems dangerous.
Bad move.
Yeah, I don't want to ruin whiskey.
That's right.
Bourbon,
that's right.
So. I'm Neat.
I'm Rox.
And this has been
The Bourbon Barrel.